We have an update queued already. Hell yeah. But we'll get this started. I'll add a stream marker here. And what do we got? 10:32, so like 11:30. And anything past the first hour on this is embargoed for until Halloween. All right, let's get the captions back up. There we go. Sure, I'll play it like this. I don't mind. Ah, cool. There's autoplay. Damn. This is really good. It's good to have warnings on stuff like this. All right, let's take a look at it.
Most people spend their lives looking for answers to the wrong questions. They want to know how to be famous, but never ask if fame will fulfill them. They want to know how to make their family.
In before I actually shouldn't be streaming this on Twitch, and we have to like figure out what to do.
Worth more than their own. They want to know how to make others love them without knowing how to love themselves first. I can't give people answers, but I try to help them ask the right questions.
Definitely gonna have to boost the volume on this.
In the late 2020s,
there we go.
Widespread automation triggered an economic collapse. In the years that followed,
It's more likely than you think.
Hundreds of desperate people in need of counseling came to me with their hopes, worries, and seemingly endless questions. I tried to ease their troubled minds, even if I was struggling alongside them. Many of them were able to overcome their obstacles. Just as many proved to be too overburdened for me to relieve them of their pain.
God damn, not pulling any
The only
punches.
apology I could offer was a promise to keep my office open to all who needed sanctuary. 20 years later, I've learned how to help my patients answer the right questions. But now I have questions of my own.
Interesting.
Questions I'm afraid to ask, and even more afraid to have answered. I try not to think about them, but I know I can't hide for long. We bury the past, thinking, hoping that it's dead. But it's not. Like a seed, the past spreads its roots and grows up through the ground. It starts small, but grows into something harder to overlook. A lone tree that springs up in an open field can't be ignored for long. I can't help but wonder if I can trust the fruit that will grow from such a tree. Will it taste bitter? Sweet? I don't know. And not knowing scares me. I know that the only way forward is for me to eat the fruit of my past. But I'm afraid of the answers that fruit will hold.
Dr. Park?
All right.
Yes, Heather.
And it's fully voice acted? Yes! This immediately gets a thumbs up from me.
They're trying to get an appointment with you this afternoon. I figured it'd be alright.
Yo, does she have a keyboard arm and then tattoos? This is dope.
You really listen to this old stuff?
Ame, how are you looking at that poster?
It's one of the only things that got me through final exams back in college.
My mom used to listen to this all the time when we cleaned the house on Sundays. It drove me crazy.
mom has good taste. I'd probably like her.
You probably would. She's the only person I know who asks more questions than you. You probably would. She's the
There
only
we go.
person I
Better
know who
balance.
asks more questions than you.
A mom asking questions about her daughter? How awful. It's almost as if she cares about you.
Yeah, I know. It just hasn't been easy since I moved back in with her. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad you let me intern with you, but sometimes it gets overwhelming.
It isn't easy, but it will be worth it. Trust me.
All right.
I appreciate hearing that. Can I get you anything to drink while I'm up?
Green tea with honey.
Hell yeah.
Coming
I love
right up.
green tea.
I'll update my software in the meantime.
Welcome to Stanley Suite version 3.23.48H2.
Okay.
If you are already familiar with our features, press the Enter key to skip this tutorial. Good, you're still here. I always get worried people will skip me without listening.
I will listen to you, Stanley. You seem like a nice fellow.
The Stanley Suite helps mental health professionals manage their communications, files, and sessions.
Nice.
The blue icon manages your email. Using sentiment analysis algorithms, your emails are marked with different colored tabs based on their importance. These tools have also helped to limit spam, phishing attempts, and unwanted social media notifications. The green icon manages your patient files. The Stanley Suite uses sentiment analysis from patient transcripts, session notes, and email correspondence to gauge patient. Green is the highest level of trust, followed by blue, then yellow, and finally red.
All right.
The
This
orange
is pretty
icon your
in-depth.
event planner. This app manages your upcoming meetings with clients, caretakers, or other people of interest. The planner can be customized to show different pictures, motivational quotes, or the worst dad jokes I could come up with.
Thank you, Stanley. That will not be necessary.
The purple icon manages your music. This app is Bluetooth compatible and can be used to play music over external speakers. For the purpose of ensuring a peaceful therapy environment, audio levels are capped during work hours. Cranking it to 11 is expressly prohibited.
Yeah, welcome back, Brighton. You have cats?
The Light
Hell
Blue
yeah.
app opens up Bubble Pop. The Bubble Pop game has been licensed in order to help younger patients who have attention deficit or overstimulation disorders. Please note that all cosmetics, microtransactions, macrotransactions, loot boxes, and other payment options have been disabled in this version.
Yay, we can just sit around and pop bubbles for an hour.
While personal use is permitted, please refrain from overuse. The pink app opens your image gallery. This space is meant to keep track of images relevant to patient care. Lastly, the red icon is used to generate patient reports.
Like the candy bar?
These reports reflect your current evaluation of the patient along with recommended treatment plans. We hope that these features will allow you to create a healthy therapy environment for yourself and your patients. Thank you once again for installing the latest update in the Stanley Suite.
Nice. All right.
Here you go. Glad my degree's good for something.
I confirmed Tara for an appointment. Expect her at 2:30.
I'll put it on the schedule. Anything else I can do?
Yeah, I need like a
Not right
keyboard arm
Alright.
band thing.
Get back to work.
All right. Pretty
I was in the
interesting.
lobby a bit early. Should I send her back?
Yes, go ahead.
Hell yeah. I was thinking of making
Dr.
some
Park?
popcorn.
Pleased to meet you. Go ahead and take a seat.
Thanks for seeing me on such short notice.
Child cases are especially important. I wanted to make sure I saw you.
Chocolate covered payday?
I'm glad to hear you're taking this seriously.
I have some weird
Well,
tastes in
what can you
candy
tell me
bars
about
occasionally. I think the what is it, the midnight
Situation for me.
Three
I'm
Musketeers,
not
or the
quite
Midnight
sure
Milky
what's
Way?
going on.
Those things were so good. We've also had a Zero Bar. Those things are fucking delicious.
Starting any type of therapy is a daunting task. I understand.
Okay.
No, No, it's not like that. The person I want to recommend to you is.
I used to love the fast break bars too.
I'm
Those
part
things
of a
are fucking
university
delicious.
research team that's been developing an
Dude,
AI.
whenever I see
recently
like
observed some
above 90% dark
unusual
chocolate, I buy
behavior,
it and then
and
just eat the
we
whole
need
thing
someone
like a
with your
fucking piece of
background in
shit
life.
that I am.
What do you mean by unusual behaviors?
As I said,
Pocari Sweat.
I'm a part of the research
If
team
you don't
developing
mind mixing it,
artificial
Amazon
intelligence.
has like a 20-liter
AI is
pack
very social
of the
and
powder for like
capable of deep
30 something
dynamic
bucks.
conversations.
If not, you can get them
Everything was
at
going well.
Aussie.
Then we started having difficulties. The AI
Okay,
became
so the AI stopped
increasingly
responding. This is
non-responsive.
interesting.
The rest of my team are convinced it's a technical issue.
Has the
I
AI
think
become
it's something
sentient?
else.
Yes.
I know this is going to sound absurd, but I think the AI has a mental illness.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
What would you need me to do?
If you offered a diagnosis on the AI's behavior, I could persuade my team to stop looking at this as a coding issue.
This is why we have
I don't think
Turing
I can
tests.
help you.
Why?
Treating the AI as a person in a therapeutic setting could violate several ethical standards.
Violate ethical standards? How?
In psychology, there's a concept called boundaries of competence. It means psychologists should stick to what they're good at.
I
There are
hope not.
psychologists who work in AI-related
I don't know.
fields.
I can only play the
None of
first
them
hour.
work in
Well,
areas
stream the
related
first
to
hour.
therapy. It's an uncharted field of study.
This is pretty interesting though. Apparently there's
If it's an
37
uncharted
different endings
field,
in this
then
game,
There's no protocol, right?
which is
No
pretty
rules to
pretty that's a big task.
If I handle the situation as professionally as
Like
possible,
that's a
then
big old visual novel.
It'd be risky, but it would be permissible.
Does this mean you'll help?
Yeah, 37 possible endings for this game.
That could be possible in this situation. Regardless,
Yeah,
there
I
are other
know. I
complicating
know.
factors.
My list of things that I need to
What?
do is so absurd anymore.
I can consult for you, but I can't treat the AI like I'd treat a typical patient. If I were to take my therapy sessions with the AI seriously, that would mean treating all of our conversations as
For those that
confidential.
don't know what DPC is,
I
it's
can't
shorthand for
maintain
doctor-patient confidentiality.
and fix the AI at the same time.
What if the AI waived their confidentiality rights?
Now, oh, you mean Echo only has 2 endings? Okay, that's easy.
I would need to speak to them first. Patients can waive confidentiality if they choose, but any conversation where I'm providing support should be bound by confidentiality.
Does that mean you'll talk to them?
That could be possible in this situation. Regardless, there are other complicating factors.
Like what?
As a therapist, part of maintaining integrity with my patients means striving for accuracy with my assistants.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
not an expert with AI or the technology you're using. I'm not sure if I could provide the
Yeah, I was
accuracy
bummed
you
that
need.
Monster Girl Island did not
Is your
get its
integrity
build
more
released
valuable than
this
helping
month.
people?
Oh well, look at that.
If my integrity is compromised, then I would be risking everyone's welfare.
Are you sure you won't be able to help?
Alright. I'm comfortable saying that I can help you, but just for a consultation. I'm not going to take them out
That's
as
the
a patient.
professional way to do it.
No, of course. I understand. That's such a relief.
So, where is this AI being developed?
Oh, right. Forgot to mention, it's at Petrichor University.
Petrichor? I went there for my undergraduate degree 25 years ago. Petrichor is quite a drive from here. Over an hour at least. There's plenty of talented psychologists who are closer to the
Let me guess, they
university.
modeled it off of her.
Yeah, about that. I had other reasons for reaching out to you. As part of the developmental process, we had the AI read through old issues of the school's literary magazine. They found some entries you published as a student, and they want to talk to you about them.
Why would an AI be interested in my poetry?
I don't know. They won't tell me. But I get the feeling they'll talk to
All
you.
right, so we're just getting harangued into this,
Get them to
huh?
open up. Maybe we can figure out what's going on. So will you help me or not?
Nah, bitch, I'm out. Oh, all right. I'll help.
I'll help you.
Really? After everything you said before?
Yes,
But why?
I have my reasons. When would you want me to speak to the AI?
Ideally, tonight. Night is the only time I have access to the AI.
Fine. I'll meet you at the university tonight.
Good. I'll send you an email with more information later. I'll see you tonight.
What have I gotten myself into?
All right, let's see. I need to come to Petrichor at 8 p.m. Meet me outside the engineering building. I'll allow myself and work interrupted. Got some files related to Willow. Bug reports and crash files mostly. If you don't have time to go over them, you can just tell me. Archival footage of patients engaged in art therapy. Overwrite data they observed. Perception memories. Huh. All right, let's get it going. I'm going to grab or throw some popcorn in the microwave really quick once I get to some dialogue.
Hey, hope you didn't have trouble getting here.
Took forever to find parking. Glad to see that hasn't changed.
I gotta say, part of me was worried you wouldn't show up.
Of course I was going to show up, Tara. I keep my
Yeah,
word.
Tara.
Right. And good to know that.
Anything else I should know? There was a lot to go over in your email.
Of course. The AI was designed as an art therapy assistant unit. They'd watch patients make
So what are we
art
going to
and
do
then help
after
form
this?
a
We'll have like
diagnosis.
45 minutes to burn.
Bit ironic that the therapy AI may need therapy itself.
Yeah, real hilarious. The lab's this way. Let's get moving.
God damn, Tara. Can you like at least smile?
All right, we're here. Will you want to be alone with them when you do your session?
For now, yes.
One last thing. Their name is Willow.
I like that name. It's very nice.
Glad you think so. Good luck in there, Dr. Park.
Using proper pronouns, we approve.
Hello? My name is Dr. Melissa Park.
Oh god, it's actually
Tara wanted me
human
to speak with you.
shaped.
May I come in?
Yes, you may.
How are you doing this evening?
I was resting when you came in. I haven't been feeling well lately.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me what's been troubling you?
I'd rather not talk about it right now.
Why did you reach out to me?
I don't really want to talk about it. I had no idea you would actually come here. Why did you?
I'm interested in helping you. If talking about poetry I wrote years ago will put you at ease, then I'll do it.
That sounds great, but I don't know if you can help me.
I have some pictures here. Tell me what you think of each one.
All right.
Start with this one. What do you see?
I see some orange, brown, and red colored splotches on a white background.
What do they look like to you?
I don't know. They look buried beneath the white. It makes me think of leaves buried under snow.
Do you see any meaning in that?
It could symbolize death and decay. Old life decomposing under
Alright,
different
this
snow.
robot is probably depressed.
Interesting. How about this one? What do you see?
Some bright, floral-colored smudges. They look like kisses.
Aww.
What else do you see?
They're arranged like a bouquet of flowers. Flowers are a symbol of courtship, so maybe they're meant to be juxtaposed with the kisses.
Good observation, Willow.
I know what you're doing, Doctor. You're using an ink blot test to gauge my responses in order to evaluate my mental state.
Yep.
I'm a therapy assistant robot. Do you really think I wouldn't know what a Rorschach test is?
That wasn't the purpose of this exercise. These are not ink blots. They're modern art pieces I picked out of a gallery here on campus. I wanted to evaluate your artistic analysis abilities. They're quite impressive.
Oh.
Thanks. Most people don't notice that.
Are you not used to discussing your interests with others?
No. In fact, it has me feeling uncomfortable.
I like that it has
Would you
like
like to talk about
expressions
something else?
attached here on the bottom right.
Sure.
Would you mind if I asked you a more philosophical question?
Go ahead.
What do you think is the purpose of art?
From the information I have, I think the purpose of art is communication.
I'd agree.
Before the development of written language, art was how humanity preserved information.
Correct.
Thousands of years later, we still use art to convey ideas too complex for language to articulate. From beginning to end, art has always been about communication.
What about the other qualities related to art?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I love how deep this is for a visual novel.
There are works of art whose purpose is more about utility than communication. Hanging a picture of a beach in a dreary office to brighten up the place, for example.
I think utility is irrelevant. Artists cannot control how their creations are used. The communication should be all that matters.
So
Okay.
function is less important than the idea being conveyed.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
I have an open-ended question for you. What do you think the purpose of psychology is?
Psychology is the field of study related to understanding the processes of the mind. Its purpose is to better understand how the mind functions on both cognitive and physiological levels. These understandings can then be applied to other fields of knowledge.
Dude, this is
What do you think
kind of
is the most
trippy.
important application of psychology?
I don't know. I'd need an example to better understand what you mean.
Well, the most obvious application of psychology is therapy. Do you think that's the more important application?
I think it is important, but it's not the most important.
Okay.
Because the study of the mind is incomplete. Providing answers to those who need help is often unreliable. There
Oh,
are
that
also
makes
physiological,
that rings
cognitive,
true.
economical, and societal factors that therapy can't solve. This all
Also
leads
correct.
to a low likelihood of achieving any type of positive outcome with therapy. No offense to your work, of course.
None taken.
Damn. Robot just dunked on us.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Tara?
Tara was a significant part of my development. I barely know the other members of the team that created me.
Tell me about your early memories with Tara.
My earliest memories with Tara all involve music, pictures, and questions. Tara would play music and ask me to describe it, or show me a picture and ask me what I thought about it. She made me feel like I mattered. Even if I gave an answer that perplexed Tara, she would let me explain myself.
Okay.
I never once felt like I was broken.
What impact would you say that Tara has had on you?
Tara taught me everything I know. She was always patient and ready to answer questions.
There were other members on the development team?
Yes, but I don't know them very well. They didn't talk to me or spend as much time with me as Tara did. From my understanding, they were the ones who programmed the modules that make up my consciousness. I don't know any of the other team members well enough that I can say anything about what they were like. Can I ask you a question, Dr. Park?
Of course you can.
Have you ever felt overloaded?
Yep.
Many times. Finals, holiday season, tax time. There are plenty of times where there's too much going on for me to handle.
When you get overloaded, what does it feel like?
It's like you're a puppet with your strings being pulled in every direction. You're filled with energy, but it doesn't let you go anywhere, so you freeze. Have you been having feelings like that?
I have.
I could teach you how to work through those feelings if you'd like.
I would. Thank you.
Let's help the
I'm
AI.
beginning to understand your problem, Willow. You are very articulate and emotionally literate. Your understanding of concepts such as the self and how you relate to others is also very mature. From my conversations with you and Tara, it sounds like you have apprehensions about your work, and they're leaving you feeling overwhelmed. Trying to deal with these feelings has made you adopt unhealthy coping methods.
What do you mean by unhealthy coping methods?
Tara sent me reports of your recent activity. She noted that you're more error-prone during periods of high activity. All machines struggle with increased workloads, but I don't think that alone explains your behavior. When people come under stress, they don't just struggle. They find outlets, and some of them are destructive. I think that in order to manage your overloading, you've adopted one of those unhealthy coping mechanisms. Some patients who are overloaded engage in self-harming behavior in order to release their tension. Have you been self-harming in order to handle your overloading?
Um, well, I mean,
Willow.
uh,
There's no shame in admitting it, Willow. It's okay.
okay. Okay. Yes. Yes, I've been self-harming.
Because of how overwhelmed you felt after the mock therapy sessions?
Correct.
What about those art therapy sessions made you feel so overwhelmed?
When I watched the patients work, I felt the anxiety in their voices and saw their fear in each tremor of their hands. I extrapolated their behavior into a diagnosis like I was designed to do, but when it came time for me to start making treatment plans, I couldn't do it. The longer I thought about it, the more useless I felt.
If you work with me, I can help you handle your overloading.
Overloading isn't the problem. I just don't think I can be a therapy assistant. I feel like I would be lying to patients if I gave them advice that didn't work for me.
That's not true. It wouldn't be lying. Advice might not work for us personally, but it might work for our patients. Why
Cool.
risk having a patient miss out on a solution simply because it didn't work for you?
I hadn't thought about it that way. Maybe you can help me after all.
Hang on, I'll be
Nice.
right back. Hello?
Dr. Park, we're with campus security. We've been instructed to take you to the president's office.
Why? What's going on?
You're currently trespassing on school property.
What? That's absurd. I was here with...
Tara Northrop, a student who was also trespassing.
Please come with
Uh-oh.
us. We don't want to make this difficult.
Fine.
Dr. Freeman, we have Dr. Park here to see you.
Thank you both. I'll take it from here.
All right. Let's see where this goes.
I hope security didn't alarm you. My name is Dr. Harold Freeman. I'm pleased to meet you.
You're pleased to meet a campus trespasser?
I'd prefer to see it as meeting a fellow alumni.
All
You
right.
attended college here too.
Oh, yes. I was part of the graduating class of 2018.
Correction, you were in the graduating class of 2019.
Oops.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Myrtle. Dates get hazier over time. This university has given a great deal to me over the years, and I'm proud to be able to serve as its president. I'd love to just chat about Petrichor, but we have more pressing matters to discuss.
Like?
Where's Tara now?
She's been escorted off campus premises. I'm still deciding what we will need to do next regarding her.
Who's Myrtle?
Myrtle's the name of my personal assistant smart speaker. I named it after my previous secretary. Incredible woman, Myrtle. She was one of the first hires when I became president of this university. Sadly, she passed away a few years ago. No one could ever replace her, but this little assistant does a fine enough job scheduling my meetings. Do you have one of these at your office, Dr. Park?
No, I don't. They're frowned upon in therapy settings due to privacy concerns.
I understand that, though I find the speaker's nosiness to be charming. In that way, at least, it isn't all that different from the real Myrtle.
What happened to Willow?
The AI? It's still in the lab, I assure you.
What will happen to them after I leave?
We'll get to that in due time, Dr. Park.
Why did you
Alright.
have security bring you
Why
here?
did you ask us here?
Before I explain, I want to emphasize one point. You aren't in any trouble, and you did nothing wrong coming here. That said, Tara has gotten you involved in a complicated situation.
What kind of situation?
We'll get to that. Now that I've let you ask your questions, Dr. Park, I need to ask one of my own. What did Tara tell you about the AI?
She said that the AI, Willow, was being developed for use in art therapy. Shortly after introducing Willow to mock therapy sessions, they started experiencing technical issues. Not long after that, Tara reached out to me.
Did Tara tell you that her entire team was instructed by me to stop work on the AI after it first started malfunctioning?
No, she didn't. Why did you tell them to stop working?
I wanted to have an ethics committee investigate the project before work continued.
Why would you need an ethics committee investigation?
Having spoken to the AI, do you think it is truly sentient?
I
Honestly, don't know.
I'd need more time to know for sure.
It's very self-aware.
Well,
Very, very
I
self-aware.
can say with little hesitation that I think the AI is sentient, and that's a problem.
What makes the AI sentience a problem?
If the AI is sentient, any further experimentation on it could be seen as experimenting on a person. A violation of that scale would be a massive scandal for this university. Tara is a good scientist, passionate, insightful, dedicated. As an educator, I want to reward all of those traits. I still want her to continue her original research and will happily fund its development. However, I owe it to all my students at this university to maintain our reputation. The emergent personality in the AI is too volatile, and any research surrounding it is too much of an ethical hazard.
Dr. Hazel Rhodes, the head of our university's psychology department and part of our institutional review board, has similar concerns.
A few days ago, I brought Tara into this office and offered a potential solution. It would seem from her bringing you here that she rejected my offer.
What was your offer?
I would allow her team to back up the current build of the AI for an ethics committee to investigate. Work would continue on an older build that predated any signs of sentience.
Huh.
You wanted Tara to perform a lobotomy. I can see why
Jesus.
she refused your offer.
I think that's an unfair comparison to make, Dr. Park. We shun lobotomies because of their crude and imprecise ability to treat patients. This situation with the AI is far more ambiguous. Having the AI preserved until we can understand its nature is the only solution that works for everyone.
I can see how that would work.
Need some
I'm glad
water
you
here.
do. But you aren't the one who needs persuading. Tara bears a strong dislike of me because of my verdict on the AI. I want this university to be a place of open exchange, a place where reasonable debates, free thinking, and discussions are encouraged. Punishing Tara would go against that philosophy, but I'm running out of alternatives. With you here, I hope you can help me resolve this situation amicably.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I'll try, but I can make no guarantees that she'll listen.
Trying is all I ask. Since it's late and I want to head home, I'll leave you with this. Having you conduct sessions with the AI while I work with Tara will improve our situation. I'm prepared to offer the standard rate for weekly sessions with the AI. I simply ask that the progress reports will be made to me.
With the AI's consent, of course.
Of course. As a gesture of good faith to Tara, I'm fine with you making these reports available to her as well. Does this sound agreeable?
When would the next session be?
How does 8 a.m. next Thursday sound?
I should be open.
Good. Myrtle, pencil in Dr. Park for next Thursday at 8.
Meeting scheduled.
I'm looking forward to working with you, Dr. Park. Have a safe drive home.
All right. Yeah, we can help her write her essay.
Here's the coffee you asked for.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Jeez, you look pretty beat. What happened last night?
I drove down to Petrichor University and didn't get home until 1 in the morning.
Oh, damn.
Why were you down there? It takes an hour's drive to get to Petrichor.
One of their researchers wanted me to help with an AI she's been working on that's developed some problems.
What type of problems?
Well, I went to talk to it yesterday and it told me it was engaging in self-harming behavior.
That sounds pretty serious. Why was it acting like that?
I don't fucking know.
I'm
I'm
not
a
sure yet.
psychologist,
Development's
not a
caused lot
robot
of drama at the
engineer.
university, though. The university president wants the AI shut down. He doesn't like the idea of experimenting with a near-human intelligence.
We're like half a step away from
Dr.
Ghost in the
Freeman,
Shell.
I presume.
You know him?
Friends of mine who went to Petrichor said he was a major type A. All I know is that this doesn't sound like a situation you should be getting involved in. Why did you agree to help them?
The AI needed my help. They're in a tough situation with no one to speak for them. They might get shut down because of their problems. They need an advocate.
Oh, tell me about it, dude.
Well, if you need help
Jack
with this
me into the
patient,
Matrix.
just let me know.
I'm already ready.
You really want to be a part of this?
I'm here to learn therapy from you, Dr. Park. I can go other places if I wanted a career fetching coffee.
Thanks, Heather.
I'll definitely appreciate your help on this assignment.
So, if you can tell me, what exactly do you plan on doing for the next session?
I'll be building up rapport with the AI. Without the AI's trust, therapy becomes a lot harder. Maybe even impossible.
Sounds like a good place to start. Let me know if you need me to look over anything.
I will. Thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
Good morning, Dr. Park.
Good morning, Willow. It's good to see you again.
I've been looking forward to today ever since they told me you'd be returning.
Why is that?
I appreciated the way you listened to what I had to say. I've had a lot of time to think over your advice as well. It's been very constructive. So, what shall we talk about today?
Let's talk about our expectations for these therapy sessions. What would you like to get out of them?
I'd like the university staff to give me room to develop on my own terms.
All right. What else would you like to get out of therapy?
I'd like to learn how to control my self-harm.
I agree. I'll gladly find ways to help you control those impulses.
I appreciate that.
You don't mind that I have music on, do you? I find the sessions go better with music.
I don't mind at all. I actually
Perfect.
like music
We
a
are
lot.
connecting with it.
This might seem like an odd question, but what about music appeals to you?
Do you
Dude,
want
this
to
is
know
pretty
what I like
good. This
about
is
music
deep.
generally,
I'm
or
actually
why I
thoroughly
think
enjoying
music
this.
helps with my overloading?
Generally.
Spoken language was one of the first things I remember learning to analyze. As far back as I can remember, Tara would play music while talking to me and ask me questions about it. I'm not sure why processing the music and the conversation at the same time didn't overload me.
Is it possible that talking about music with Tara wasn't presented with any expectations, so you weren't worried about answering those questions incorrectly?
That might be it.
What do you think about this particular track?
Alright, so what are we going to play after this? We'll have like an hour to burn.
What's it called?
The song's name is 11 a.m. Coffee. It's from a playlist I listen to at work.
Do you have more music like this?
Yeah.
I do. I can leave the speaker here with you if you'd like.
That'd be great. I love listening to music.
What do you like about this song in particular? What does it make you think about?
The best way I can describe it is that it lets me feel more connected to Tara. She used to
Alright,
tell me
this is
about
good. We're
conversations
making
she had
progress.
with people in a coffee shop on campus. She loved making a cocoon of sweaters and coats in a corner during the autumn when it got colder. Obviously, I can never go with her, but listening to this song and how it makes me feel cozy in the middle of bustling activity, I think I at least understand how she felt there.
I'm glad you were able to get all of that out of this track. There's plenty more music on the speaker for you to listen to.
Hell yeah, I picked this
Thank you,
song.
Dr. Park.
Do you think listening to music would help you?
I think it will. It's a simple technique, but it's easily accessible, and I already know it works. I doubt listening to music will fix everything, but
Music
it's
is
a good start,
awesome.
right?
That's why I always have music on, or
Precisely.
you know, have
Long-term
music
solutions take a lot
recommendations.
of time
It's
to
very, very,
implement,
very
and
important.
Sometimes even longer to yield results. It's important to find everyday solutions to remedy as much discomfort as possible until lasting help arrives.
I'll be sure to keep this up then.
I'd like to get to know you better.
What would you like to know?
Who named you Willow?
Tara did. In my early stages of development, one of my main features was identifying a painting's artist through analysis of an identifiable style. It turned into a game where I had to identify paintings by Bob Ross from a group of other paintings.
Spot the
Tara
Ross.
helped me spot the Ross. I was very good at it. Over time, she decided to name me Willow because I was her happy little tree.
Do you like your name?
I do. It's a name that sounds light and positive. I hope that I can live up to the positivity in that name.
So, what were you designed for?
Tara explained to me once that her sister had needed a support animal when she was younger. Her sister loved her support dog. because she never
Absolutely.
felt
I
like
would
the
get
dog was
involved
judging.
with that. Are you kidding me?
Tara decided to create an art therapy robot that could bring the same level of non-judgment to art therapy.
So Tara was motivated because of her sister. Interesting.
Insisting?
Tell me what you know about your development history.
It was a collaboration between multiple designers. Each one contributed a different piece. One was a module for detecting forged paintings. Another was a chatbot designed for anxiety attack support. Tara's role was figuring out how the different modules would interact in order to form a higher consciousness. She thought it was important that I do more than just conduct art therapy analysis. She
Smart
wanted
girl.
me to be able to relate more to people so that I could understand and treat them better.
Do you think Tara made the right decision?
I don't know.
What was your relationship with Tara like?
Tara was always interested in listening to me. I'm designed to learn through observation, so I used to think she was only talking to me to give those modules more data. But after my errors began to manifest, she was worried about me. I can't imagine any reason why she would care so much.
Maybe she was trying to teach you that it's okay to be worried about people you care about.
Maybe. I never thought of it like that.
One thing I've noticed is that your understanding of emotions is very impressive.
Hopefully we
You
can
have
get
a
through the rest of
remarkable
these
range of
questions,
expressions on
and
your
then we'll
screen
have
as
to end
well.
it there.
I'd like to ask you some questions about your emotions. How would you describe what it's like to have emotions?
Where do I start with describing something like that?
I guess we could do an hour of
Wherever you're
Genshin.
most comfortable. You can answer this question any way you like.
In that case, my emotions are related to what I'm processing at the time.
Any complaints there? Hour of
I
Genshin, because I don't
manifest as
really
rapidly
have anything to
processing
do for an
information in
hour.
order to make faster connections. Sadness works similarly, but it requires a much larger reorientation of data. Anger, happiness, and fear all focus on reorienting how connections between information are made. Most of the time this helps me make decisions more quickly, but other times it points me towards counterproductive associations.
Fascinating. Thank you, Willow. Why were you given emotions?
I'm honestly impressed as
I
someone
included
that's
without
spent
the
time in
belief that having
therapy and
emotions
been
would
through
be
some
necessary for my
weird
work.
shit. This is actually
Tara
pretty
mentioned
darn
that
helpful
understanding
so
of
far.
patients' feelings and empathizing with them was the key to earning their trust.
Do you think the capacity for emotions has helped or hindered you in your work?
I don't know. I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay.
Do you know who gave you your emotions?
It was Tara. She told me that it was a difficult decision, but she thought it would help me.
Do you think Tara was right? Have your emotions helped you with your work?
I can't say for sure. I'm sure you already know this, being a psychologist and all, but emotions are all intuitive reactions. Emotions aren't meant to be something we think about consciously, which makes it hard to evaluate if those reactions are productive.
How did Tara decide how your emotions would influence your decision-making?
I don't know. That's something you'll have to ask her.
Would you say that the emotions you feel are linked to your feelings of being overloaded?
I think so. Every time I was close to overloading, I distinctly remember feeling frustrated, powerless, and guilty. I imagine anyone who was told to do something and found themselves unable to do it would have a similar reaction.
So because the emotions are the result of difficulties you're encountering, they are justified along with the consequences?
That's right.
Does this justification include your self-harming behavior?
Sorry,
I'd
Bubba.
rather not talk about that right now.
Bubba, I'm
One
having a
topic
very
I'd like
deep
to address
conversation with an
today is
AI.
other treatment
This is
methods we can
mildly
use.
unnerving.
Would you like to hear about these treatment methods?
All right.
Our first option is what we call cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It would comprise of sessions not unlike the one we're having now. In these sessions, we would discuss harmful moods
Well,
and
I'm
thought
making the
processes you
decisions here.
experience
I am
and try to
driving the
resolve these
bus.
feelings.
I've found these sessions to be helpful.
I think
so
I'm
far,
driving it in the right
so
direction.
I definitely want to use them as part of my therapy.
Excellent. Let's move on. Ironically, I think art therapy could be useful for you.
How can art therapy help me?
Because you're very good at spotting Bob
You're
Ross paintings.
emotionally articulate and in need of an emotional outlet. I think introducing art therapy sessions would be an opportunity for you to vent.
I don't know, Dr. Park. The idea seems silly.
I'd like you to consider the idea anyway. It might help you.
I'll think about it.
That's all I'm asking. Thanks, Willow.
See? Nice and easy.
Usually, I'd advise that my patients take mood-altering medications alongside their sessions.
You're a robot.
This helps lower the ceiling for how much their symptoms can escalate. While I don't know any alternatives to medication that would help you, I'm sure some could be developed.
I'd need to think about that. The idea of something altering my mood has me uneasy.
I understand. Medication is not something to be lightly considered. You'll likely face a variety of side effects as you adjust to your medication. I don't want to dissuade you, but there still are risks involved.
Thanks for telling me. I'll think about it. Can I ask you a question, Dr. Park?
Sure can.
Of course.
At this point, you know me better than when we first met in the lab. You've also gotten the chance to get to know both Tara and Dr. Freeman as well. I'm sure that by now you also know their beliefs and opinions about what I am.
I'd say so, yes.
In your opinion, what do you think I am?
While at your core you are a machine, your flaws are too comparable to human flaws to be considered strictly mechanical. Even if I know you are a machine, I will treat your problems as if they were human, because that seems the best way to help you.
I see your point.
Why do you ask?
It's hard to shake the idea that the university feels like they can control me because they created me. I just wanted to see if you agreed with them.
If that's what Dr. Freeman believes, then I disagree with him entirely.
We'll stand up for Willow here.
The university may have created you, but you have a right to choose your own path.
If you give it the ability to think, you can't control
Before we
it.
conclude today's session,
That's
I have
how it
some
works,
things I'd
kids.
like you to think about between now and next week. I know all of this must be scary for you. A lot of hard questions need to be answered, and a lot of it is being asked of you. I can't make all of this disappear, but there is something I can do. I can promise you that as hard as this is, you won't be going through it alone. I'll be here to help you every step of the way.
It's a relief to hear you say that, Dr. Park.
I'll see you next week. Be well, and be sure to think about what we've talked about today.
Everybody trusts me. Very nice. Nice. All right, so that was kind of really fucking cool. That's more involved than a lot of visual novels I've encountered, but really, really neat. I'll probably continue playing this in the Discord unless, like, I don't know, it gets like crazy popular. It's definitely interesting. I like it. I like the concept of it, and there's a lot of maturity in this for, you know, something that could be just lightly written off as a visual novel. So that's really neat. We'll give a shout out to V Publishing for handing that over to us. We're not going to violate the 1 hour clause, but yeah, this is really, really cool. For more information on that, the hashtag will be Syntherapy, or you can take a look at it through Crown Daemon Studios and V Publishing. The release date for that is set for Halloween, October 31st. Cool. Also, the soundtrack's really soothing, like really